wow, that was a good story. So it turns out that J was Jacob. And I don't know if you remember, but Jacob became Israel, the father of Joseph, the father of the 12 tribes. And Israel is still around today. It's a mighty nation that's over in the Middle East. And when I say mighty nation, they're pretty amazing. They actually are ones that all their neighbors don't like, and yet they're little, and yet they're mighty. So their neighbors who don't like them, don't mess with them. And that's kind of interesting because God said they're his chosen people. And one day, we're getting ahead of our lessons, but one day, the world is going to mess with Israel, and God's going to step in and say, no, you don't, boy. Just like that. Well, okay, maybe not quite like that. Well, anyway, pretty cool story. We heard about how Jacob had something good, but then he went his own way to get what he wanted, and it caused some great problems. And those problems went on to have him live in exile away from his mom, who he loved, never saw her again, for over 20 years. And then the tricks that he played on other people, guess what? People played tricks on him. But the cool thing is that God didn't forget him, and God blessed him. He became wealthy, and God protected him when he came home and met with his brother again, who, if you remember, had promised to kill him. And then the Israelites begin. They go and live in Egypt for a while. They become slaves in Egypt. Then God delivers them, and then they go through the wilderness and get the 10 Commandments and all those things. And then finally, they end up in Israel, and every day they experience they're either in God's will or they choose to get out of his will. And my prayer for each of you is that you would be patient. You would be patient to be in God's will and not demand that you get what you want right away whenever you want it, but you would actually say, okay, God, I'm trusting you, and just trusting him by moving forward, doing what you know is right. So boys and girls, I'd like to take a moment where I want you to talk to God. I want you to talk to God and say, okay, God, man, there are times in my life where I know that I'm not on the center of your plan, and I'm kind of on the edge. And then when I know I'm on the edge, I slide to the outer edge. And when I slide way out to the outer edge, things don't go very well. I want to come back into the inside edge. I want to be patient. And then, prayer is talking to God. So you can tell him what's on your heart. Are there things going on in your life that you need his counsel in and guidance? And are there people in your life that you can pray for? So many needs around us, and we are to be salt and light. So we're going to spend about 1 minute in prayer, and I want you to talk to God, but I also want you to just kind of stop and think about God and listen. He may reveal something to you that you need to know. And then after that, we're going to do our activity. All right? So everyone just kind of take a moment and bow your head. Thank you very much. Let's stop talking. Appreciate it. And let's just kind of pause and pray.